Hi guys, welcome back to the Tech Diary and welcome to Abu Dhabi. This is the first and possibly the only time you'll see me doing these videos from the desert, literally from the desert. Here it is. As always, a bit of a caveat with this channel. Is it a caveat? Not really, a bit of an explanation. This isn't my main channel. I have a main channel called Mark Ellis Reviews. That is very produced and I get to the point very quickly. And normally I'm not walking through the desert. This channel is more of a place, as the name suggests, to try and not get run over by a golf buggy, which is coming this way. But also, morning. Brilliant. Not produced, not edited at all, as you can see. But yeah, a place for me just to kind of waffle on about tech and cover topics which I don't always go into too much detail on the main channel. This place is amazing, by the way. And also, I'm not here for this video. Something completely unrelated, the reason that I'm here, but I thought I'd use this location just to walk around and have a chat with you. And the thing that I want to have a chat about is the iPhone 16e, because my iPhone 16e event reaction video, which was on this channel last week, is the best performing video we've ever had on this channel. So thank you if you've watched it. Thank you if you subscribed off the back of that. I think it's had about 18,000 views to date on this channel, which is huge. But it kind of illustrated to me that people are very, very interested in this phone for one reason or another. And the sentiment about it in terms of the comments I've received on that video, and again, the most comments ever on this channel, so thank you again if you got involved, they're really mixed actually, because my opinion of this phone, well firstly, I can't give you a rounded opinion because I don't have it yet. I'll explain more about that in a second, but my opinion of this phone from the start, as soon as it was released, was, oh dear, this is a misstep by Apple. You know, why are they so there's golf carts everywhere. Imagine if I got run over by a golf cart on this video. Almost worth it for the content. No, sorry. My overriding feeling about the iPhone 16e is that it's too expensive, that Apple Intelligence isn't a selling point, and that Apple is just miles behind the Android competition in that kind of mid-range, it's not budget, but mid-range area. And then I posted that video last week and lots of you commented, and it was a mixed bunch of responses really. And I thought today, on today's video, I'd go through that sentiment and just kind of give you my opinion on each of those opinions that you guys gave. So I did chuck all of that stuff into ChatGPT. So I basically took all of the comments that you put as a whole into ChatGPT and said, look, give me the sentiment, the general sentiment about the iPhone 16e from these comments. And let's start with the negatives, because that's what you do on YouTube. That's how you get views and engagement, unfortunately. So the first thing was overpriced. A lot of people think the iPhone 16e is overpriced. I completely agree. You know, $599, that's for the base model, the 128 gig version. You're probably going to want a bit more than that, which starts taking you into $699, $899 territory. That's expensive. It really is. And because of that, a lot of people are saying it's not a true SE competitor. So it's not actually deserving of that name. But it doesn't have that name because it's an E. It's not an SE. And I agree with that as well. I think to be a budget, again, in inverted commas, phone for Apple, it has to have... What does it have to have? That's a really good point, isn't it? Because the SE had a really old design, whereas this one is newer. You know, it doesn't have the home button. What else has it got? It's got the notch. That's an yeah, I mean, people are saying it's like an in-between device, which I kind of understand. You know, where is it sitting? It's a 16e, and like a lot of people said, does that mean we're going to get a 17e and an 18e, or are they going to just keep doing it? I mean, that doesn't feel like the SE at all. Here's another golf cart. Morning. You didn't understand what I was doing then at all. What else do we have? We have the lack of key features. This is a big one. So, no MagSafe. the no MagSafe thing was a big thing for a lot of people, and again, I completely understand why. It's a very odd omission, to be honest, to not have MagSafe in there. I don't know why Apple got rid of that. I'm going to find somewhere to sit down here because I feel like I'm probably distracting you with all this. No, let's just carry on walking around. Why not? My arm's aching a little bit, but there we go. Yeah, lack of key features, so no MagSafe. That feels incredibly mean, personally, I think. 60 Hertz LCD display. No, it's not LCD, it's OLED, to be fair, but it is 60 Hertz. Now, there's no way it would ever have been ProMotion because Apple reserves ProMotion at the moment for Pro and Pro Max phones. There is the rumour that the regular 17 will have ProMotion this year, which it should have, but there was no way in the current era that we were going to get ProMotion on the iPhone 16e. That would not make any sense at all. Single lens camera system, I completely agree with that. That's not a great feature deficit, really, because every other Android smartphone at that price bracket has more than one camera. So I completely agree there. Feels like a scrap parts iPhone. Ooh, I bet Tim wasn't kind of banking on that as the feedback, really. I've got less of an issue with that because this is what Apple has always done with its kind of mid-range, mid-range products. They kind of just, they do kind of have a rummage through the parts bin and just make stuff out of that, basically. So I get the sentiment there, but that's what you get with Apple. And Apple's pricing strategy, which is this kind of decoy pricing where a lot of people have been fed up with this, where basically the 16e is priced at a point where it's tempting, but then you look at the difference in cost between that and the regular 16, which is about £200, $200, and you just think, I might as well spend a bit more and go for the 16. You spend more, they make more money, happy days for them, and hopefully happy days for you, but that's classic decoy pricing, which is something that Apple is very adept at doing. So those were the kind of the most common negative things. Now, the more positive stuff was that carrier deals soften the blow, which is a very good point. A lot of you said, well, a few of you said, that actually the pricing is a bit of a moot point, really, because most people get these phones with a carrier deal. So you pay X amount per month, and actually it's negligible in terms of what you're paying over what you would have. It's basically, it doesn't really matter. I get that completely. Also, a lot of people, more than I thought, said that the 16e does satisfy a market. It definitely satisfies a user base, a user base that wants simple features, isn't fussed about the latest chip and all that sort of stuff, may want access to Apple Intelligence because they've heard about it. And it's just enough for them. So people who aren't tech savvy, who just want a phone, they just want an iPhone because they want iMessage, they want FaceTime and that sort of stuff. I get that completely. The counter argument to that is, well, you could get a much better refurbished or second-hand phone, to get all those things. But I get that. Good battery life. I'm going to have to swap hands because my hand is nearly falling off here. Good battery life. Yes, it does apparently have good battery life, but we will need to reserve judgment on that until we get it in our hands, obviously. What else? Still the cheapest iPhone. A few people said that. Yes, it is. It's the cheapest way into iOS if you buy a new iPhone. Completely get that. And then a few people said that this is a perfect upgrade for people who are coming from the previous SE or, the iPhone 8, the 6, 7, whatever, those really early iPhones that a lot of people are still using. And I think, Apple does know, it knows its numbers, and it knows how many old iPhones are out there. So it's clear, a big strategy behind the SE is to get people to upgrade. Completely get that. So that was the overall sentiment. So quite mixed, actually, which makes this a very interesting phone to cover and to review. And because of that, I'm actually looking forward to getting my hands on it. So we've got two actually coming on Friday, which by the time that you watch this, it should probably be Friday, and I should have them. One is going to Max, who runs the website, so he'll do some coverage on that, some comparisons and things. The other one, obviously, I'm having, but what I'll be doing with it, rather than doing any kind of first impressions video, because that's pointless. It's just an iPhone. Who cares? I'm going to take it with me because I'm going to Barcelona next week for Mobile World Congress, which is a big trade show for the mobile industry, obviously. And I thought, let's take it with me, take the SIM card out of this phone, which, by the way, is the iPhone 16 Pro Max I'm filming on now. Take my SIM card out of it and just do a straight swap. Take the iPhone 16e with me as my main phone for that trip to Barcelona, which I'm there for about a week, and see how I get on with it. I've just come to a dead end. Brilliant. Which is fortunate because I'm nearly at the end of the video. But yeah, take it with me and use it. Use it properly, take photos, use it for work, you know, see how the battery life fares, and then come back with a week later video, a week later review rather, on the main channel. So if you haven't subscribed to the main channel yet, go and check that out. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, guys, and you're enjoying it, obviously, give it a subscribe. It makes a massive difference. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Sorry for the, hopefully this camera works okay. It's very bright out here, even with sunglasses on. And yeah, I basically haven't got an SD card for my other camera for reasons I won't bore you with, which is why I'm walking around with the iPhone. But a good test of the Pro Max, at least. Anyway, guys, oh, by the way, it's not the Pro Max audio. It's not the 16 Pro Max audio because it's not great when you're outside. Anyway, waffling now as always. Thank you for watching the Tech Diary, guys. And let me know your updated thoughts on the iPhone 16e, particularly if you've got one, if you've just received one, for instance, or if you've had time to think about it a bit more since last week. Drop a thought in the comments, and I'll see you next time.